Okay, what in the Tim Burton with a kawaii twist is going on here? Because this cute question mark doll just sold for $170,000. I really wish I were kidding. Meet Labubu, the latest FOMO-driven collectible taking the world by storm.
Labubu.
Hey everyone, Amber from Sustainable Jungle here to talk sustainability tips, tricks, hacks, products, brands, and stories to better our planet. And one day, I had no idea what a Labubu was. And the next, they were everywhere. My social feeds, my YouTube recommendations, my recommended shopping ads. And when I dove into the consumerist vortex that is the Labubu doll trend, what I found out? Yikes. But real quick, please give us a like, subscribe, and check the link in the description for updates on our upcoming web membership portal. So first, how did I even end up here? One minute I'm scrolling on my phone, minding my own business, and the next, bam! Labubus. Labubus in moody lighting, Labubus in rare drop videos, friends bedazzling and making crochet outfits for their Labubus. They seemed to pop up overnight, but they've actually been around for a while. Labubu is part of the Monsters series, created by Hong Kong-based artist and children's book illustrator Ka-Sing Leung, and manufactured by Pop Mart, a company that's been pumping out collectible vinyl toys since 2010. Think of it as kind of vinyl toy Disney, except instead of princesses, you get toothy goblins with enormous heads and menacing grins that make it seem like they just put saran wrap over the toilet bowl and are waiting for someone to sit down. It's very storybook meets nightmare. Despite their somewhat malevolent appearance, Leung describes his Nordic elf-inspired creations as kind-hearted and eager to help with good intentions that can sometimes lead to chaos. I get that. Because yes, there is a story behind all of the different Labubus, of which there are about 100. But despite their childlike look and the fact that Labubus are total playground currency according to some moms, they aren't so much toys as accessories, and their most popular target market is teens and young adults. Now, let's look at the timeline. Leung first designed Labubu in 2015 before signing a licensing agreement with Pop Mart in 2019, which launched Pop Mart into going public the following year. And while the little dolls gained popularity in Asia, particularly through COVID lockdowns as people sought new collecting hobbies, it wasn't really until late 2023 that interest in Labubu spiked dramatically thanks to clever marketing tactics like limited edition releases, blind box formats, more on that chaos later, pop-up vending machines, and global conventions and licensing deals. On TikTok, #Labubu has racked up hundreds of millions of views between blind box reveals and users showing off their growing families of figures. And in China's Xiaohongshu, #Labubu has amassed 526.9 million reads. Then came the Lisa effect. In early 2024, Lisa from Blackpink, yes, global K-pop superstar Lisa, posted about her love of Labubu dolls on social media. And just like that, resale prices skyrocketed. Blind box releases sold out instantly, and the hype train officially left the station with no brakes. And it's not just superstars and their fans jumping on the Labubu boat. Trends never happen in isolation, and when one becomes as viral as this one, everyone wants their cut of the consumerist cake. So now we're even seeing luxury brands like Coach and Bottega Veneta showcasing the trend on runways. In 2023, Pop Mart pulled in over $600 million in revenue, with Labubu as one of its top-selling characters. And that revenue more than doubled in 2014 to $1.8 billion. Now the Labubu craze is really hitting America especially. A Labubu plush pendant blind box that regularly retails for $27.99 on Pop Mart to the US is now so often out of stock that people have taken to buying from resellers at marked up prices. And of course, some versions, like the rare secret chestnut cocoa Labubu, of which I guess there's a 1 in 72 chance of pulling in a blind box, those are selling on eBay for upwards of $165. Demand has gotten so high that, of course, now all kinds of cheaper knockoffs and counterfeit lafufus, as they're called, are now hitting the market and making it really difficult for some buyers to even tell which ones are real and which ones are fake. Now, if you've fallen down the Labubu rabbit hole like I have, you might have noticed that there are two main types floating around the internet. There are the full-size Labubu vinyl figures, which are about 3 to 4 inches tall, and then there are the Labubu bag charms or keychains, which are a little plush, small plastic version, and those ones are typically about 2 to 3 inches. And at first, they might seem like the same thing in different sizes, but in trend terms, totally different beasts. The bag charms have exploded on TikTok and Instagram in a slightly different way from the original figures, being not only cheaper, but also wearable as fashion accessories, which makes them trendier for kind of the casual flex appeal. But with that comes a new kind of micro-hype that can be even more unsustainable because it encourages people to be collecting dozens of them because they're small and it feels less serious than collecting full-size figures. But make no mistake, both feed into the same overconsumption machine. One is just doing it in miniature. All right, now let's rip off the Band-Aid and talk about the not-so-cute side of Labubu. Now, this is far from the first collectible doll trend we've seen. Anyone else out there still have some of their Beanie Babies because they were told that they'd totally be worth something one day? Yeah. But from Sanrio to Korean Idol cotton dolls to Funko Pop, people have proved time and time again that they love collecting figures and dolls. Even better when there's a thrill of not knowing what you'll get. And that's what you get with Labubu, because Labubu dolls are typically sold in blind boxes, meaning you don't know which figure you're going to get until you are opening the package. It's like gambling, but with plastic. And blind box culture isn't new either, especially in Asian cultural niches like anime. According to Michelle Parnett-Dwyer, a curator at the Strong Museum of Play in Rochester, New York, blind boxes tap into a long-standing fascination with mystery and chance that have been enrapturing us as humans since the days of cereal box prizes, Happy Meal toys, and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card packs. And sure, they might feel fun and nostalgic, but from a sustainability standpoint, they're overconsumption by design. Blind boxes are intentionally built on the thrill of the unknown. You're not just buying one, you're buying until you get the rare one or the one that you're missing. And that means massive overbuying, duplicates, and a constant cycle of consumption that turns collecting into hoarding, and fast. The People's Daily newspaper in China actually warned that blind boxes could lead to youth addiction and called for stricter regulation of the practice, which led to an immediate 12% drop in Pop Mart sales the following week. And back in 2023, China banned the sales of blind boxes to children under the age of 8 for this reason. And remember those resellers I mentioned earlier? Well, they're not the sustainable, I have too many of these, and rather than throw them away, would just like to see them go to another home type. No, they're the I bought hundreds of these with the intent of reselling them and making a profit on marked up prices kind. They're scalpers, basically. And any fellow concert enthusiasts out there know how awful these types of people are. And while it might just seem like another case of capitalism gonna capitalize, there's another deeper sustainability issue here. Actions like this encourage overconsumption by fueling scarcity panic. It adds extra emission from multiple shipments, as in manufacturer to reseller, then to buyer, and it creates a toxic collector culture where plastic toys are treated as investment assets, not art or joy. And let's not forget that these uglyish little figures are made from ugly materials as well, namely PVC or polyvinyl chloride, which is petroleum-based and in fact the most toxic type of plastic that's out there. It's super energy intensive to produce and nearly impossible to recycle. And while Pop Mart has expanded globally with flagship stores and partnerships in countries like Japan, Korea, and the US, the manufacturing remains centralized in China to keep costs low and production volumes high. And we all know how lax China's environmental regulations and worker protections are for these people that are working with these highly toxic materials. And I probably don't need to say this, but there is no closed loop Labubu. There is no eco-friendly version, no return program when you find yourself over this fleeting trend. And Pop Mart doesn't even publish sustainability reports or disclose any environmental impact data. So while they're brilliant at art and design and marketing, they are very suspiciously quiet about what happens to all the Labubus that no one wants anymore. even though I think we all know. Plus there's packaging. I mean, each figure comes individually boxed, often with multiple layers of plastic film, molded trays, foil wraps, cardboard, all of it. And most of this is not recyclable, not even the cute collectible card insert. Multiply that by thousands, no, scratch that, millions of boxes, and you've got a landfill full of Labubu-shaped regret. And this crazy hype, it all boils down to what I call the social media spell. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of these, they don't just show you what's trending. They make you feel like you're left out if you are not part of the trend. That's FOMO, and the Labubu trend is absolutely drenched in it. If I'm being totally honest, I felt that temptation when I first started seeing good friends of mine posting about their cute little crocheted outfits that they made for their Labubus. I was like, that's adorable. I want to make a crocheted outfit for a Labubu. But then I paused and said, wait. Because even I get tempted by things that I know are unsustainable. The difference is that I take 2 seconds to sit with myself and ask, do I actually want this? Do I need it? That's literally all conscious consumerism is. It's not ridding ourselves of impulses entirely. It's simply knowing how and when to rein them in. Because the thing that a lot of us don't want to admit is that our brains are hardwired to fall for these gimmicks. I'd be willing to bet that no one that has bought into this trend woke up one day thinking, you know what my life is missing? A $30 vinyl elf goblin in a fruit costume. But after seeing 3 unboxing videos, 1 shelf tour, and a viral TikTok of someone crying because they got the rare glitter Labubu edition, suddenly you're on Pop Mart's website, calculating how many blind boxes you can justify before your next credit card payment is due. That's the power of social media, and more specifically, social proof that it's based on. We are biologically wired to fit in. So when we see everyone liking something, flaunting it, chasing it, our brain quietly goes, hey, maybe this is cool. Maybe I should want that too. And sure, maybe you do genuinely love Labubu. Maybe its toothy grin speaks to your soul. But maybe, just maybe, you like it because it's everywhere, and because your favorite K-pop idol, your favorite lifestyle blogger, your best friend even, all have one. And that's not just marketing, that's a psychological feedback loop engineered to turn trends into obsessions. Which begs the question, do you actually like it, or do you like that other people like it? And more importantly though, what happens when suddenly no one likes it anymore? Look, I understand the appeal. They're cute, in a way, I guess, but when collection becomes compulsion and collectibles become clutter, it's worth asking, what's the real cost of this trend? We don't need to stop loving cute things or even collecting cute things from time to time, but if you really have your heart set on one, and emphasis on one, you do you, Labubu. But maybe we can start by being more mindful about what we consume, why, and how much we consume when we do. Because whether it's Labubu, Squishmallows, or Beanie Babies 2.0, they all come from the same machine, one that thrives on our dopamine and disposability. Now, what do you think of the Labubu trend? Have you been tempted to buy one, or do you already have a shelf full of them? Let me know in the comments, and if you know someone who's 10 blind boxes deep, maybe share this video with them. Once again, this is Amber, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more of us trying to make sense of a world where billionaires are racing to Mars while the ocean is full of microplastics. See ya, everyone.